Just a few years ago, training on a bike indoors was horrible, basically, like watching paint dry with a lot of pain in your legs. Now though, it is entertaining, it is immersive, and dare I say it, almost enjoyable. It's an industry which is booming, and we've been heading around the stands at Eurobike to find some exciting new products in the indoor cycling world. And we are going to start with this, a product I am very excited about. I think this is going to take your indoor training up to another level. It comes from our friends at Wahoo, who did the first ever smart trainer back in 2014, and they are continuing to innovate. This is the new Kickr Climb. It basically does what it says on the tin. So when you're riding on something like Zwift, which is what Rolly here is doing behind me, and has been for quite some time now, it will simulate the gradient that you're on. So when you go uphill in Zwift, this will simulate gradients of up to 20% when you're going uphill, and do the same on the descent as well, up to a 10% decline, which I really think is very cool indeed. Now, if you aren't using something like Zwift, but you want to do your own workouts, you will have the ability to mount a remote control on the handlebars and specify yourself what the gradient will be, and in turn with the new Kickr, which is what it's compatible with, or the Kickr Snap, which they've also released here at Eurobike, that will in turn simulate the resistance that associates with that particular gradient. As I said, crowds have been looking at this for quite some time. I'm not sure how much energy Rolly's got left, but I think it would be rude not to give it a go myself, just to, you know, give him a bit of a break. Zwift really have been the major player in terms of making indoor cycling a whole lot more entertaining. What is really cool about it is that in the last couple of years, pros have been using it. Of course, Matt Hayman used it to train in order to win Paris-Roubaix in 2016. And now a couple of teams, Canyon SRAM and Team Dimension Data, are using it as talent identification. So who knows when we'll get the first ever Tour de France winner who has been identified on something like Zwift. And I've just been speaking to them about development of their own product. Android users like myself will be pleased to hear that the Android version of the software will be released this winter. It will also be available on Apple TV. They've just introduced group workouts, which means that people of differing fitness levels can do the same workout related to their own fitness while staying together on the virtual road of Zwift. So that's pretty cool. I'll even be able to stay next to Si from that point of view. And also, I pressed them on any new courses which might be coming up, and they didn't say much to me. They did say there are new courses on the way, plural. I understand one will be released in October, the next one in March, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're like. We've come over to the Elite booth to check out their latest addition to the smart trainer market, this being the Diretto. It comes in at $899 or €850, but it's got some very cool features for that price point. So the power meter inside this is not through strain gauges that it's measured, but instead through a laser. They've managed to cut the price down from the higher end Drivo by using just one laser to calculate the power as opposed to two, but still this is accurate to plus or minus 2.5%, which is up there with some of the best power meters that you can get to put on your bike. Also, it can simulate gradients of up to 14%, so great for when you're riding around on Zwift, etc. And one of the things that they've changed on this particular trainer is the foot span, which is 20 centimeters bigger than anything they've done previously. Apparently, a few riders were finding that they could rock the things from side to side when they were doing a full-out effort. And I can tell you, having just done a sprint myself, this thing felt very stable at close to 700 watts. We're now over at Feedback Sports taking a look at this, which is their Omnium trainer, which isn't actually new to the market. I perhaps should have seen this before, especially given that some famous people, such as Mathieu van der Poel, the famous cyclocross rider, have been using these to warm up on for previous races. This is great on two fronts. Firstly, for people like Matt Stevens, because you don't have to actually balance like you would do on standard rollers, but more because of its versatility when travelling. This is what it looks like when it is fully built up, which only takes in the region of 10 seconds, because I've just seen someone do it. This is how it looks when it is folded down. It fits into this nice, neat bag, which you can actually travel with on an aeroplane, putting it into the overhead lockers. It comes in at just £14, which is around about 6.5 kilos. If you've got a fair amount of space in your home, quite a lot of spare cash, €8,000 to be precise, and a bit of balance as well, then you might want to consider one of these. This is the Tax Magnum treadmill indoor trainer. I've had a couple of goes in it at the show now. Today I actually got to join Matt Hayman very briefly on his ride before he dropped me. Yesterday was my initial go. It was quite wobbly to start with, but thankfully I don't think that was caught on camera. Some pretty cool stuff going in the world of indoor cycling then. I think probably time that we did another indoor shoot training video, so you've got more to train along to this winter. Now if you've enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up just down below. If you haven't subscribed, you can do so right now by clicking on the globe. The latest GCN show is just down here, or if you want our general tech from Eurobike, it's just down here.